It's now time for Mic Check. And Mic Check this morning is brought to you by Groovin in the Park, an evening of reggae, rhythm and blues. The next staging is going to be on June 26th, 2016. The venue is Roy Wilkins Park, Queens, New York. Our very special guest has arrived, Mr. Turner. Go ahead and introduce him.
Well, anyone acquainted with singer and producer Ed Robinson knows he is one of the stalwarts in the reggae industry, consistently producing a quality package, whether producing other international acts or working on his own projects. And boasting a 35-year career, Ed has produced 8 albums to date, from his first VP effort, Once Again, which was recorded in 1992 with the hit Knocking on Heaven's Door, to Success's album released in 2004, Sky's the Limit in 2005, Solitude with the Dennis Brown classic Ain't That Loving You in 2008, The Awakening, and in 2011, Written in Stone with the hit song Our Heroes, which got major airplay here in the US, in Europe, and of course the Caribbean. And Robinson released 2 albums in 2014, one called Uncovers and the tribute to John Holt, where he got a chance to pay homage to the late great Sir John Holt. And this includes the single Let Your Hair Down, which was being recorded on October 20th, 2014, when the news of John Holt's death broke in London. Yard Magic is, of course, his 8th album, and that was released in 2015. And Robinson's musical journey started out as a percussionist, but he has not limited himself to one genre and feels comfortable blending rock, soul, hip-hop, and R&B to complement his reggae foundation. And on stage, he has maintained an old-school integrity, as evidenced by his smooth performances. And whether performing on an international stage or in his hometown here in New York, Ed never fails to deliver a crowd-pleasing performance. And he has performed on party cruises to the Caribbean and appeared on local New York and Caribbean hotspots, a true testament of his versatility and ability to deliver a thrilling performance every time. And last year, he was, of course, inducted in the Reggae Hall of Fame by the International Reggae and World Music Awards Diorama, a star-studded event which happened in Florida on October 4th. So there you have it, our very special guest on Mic Check, Mr. Ed Robinson.
Hey, that love for you.
Big voice of the one and only Mr. Ed Robinson, who has now joined us for Mic Check. Good morning, Ed.
Morning, King. How go on?
Morning, Ed Robinson. How you doing, boss?
Yes, Mr. Turner. You good?
Yeah, man. Everything blessed, man.
Respect.
Everything is blessed. How are you doing this morning, Ed?
Well, I'm good, my brother. I'm just there kick back and play on Facebook, yeah.
Well, you know, Ed Robinson, it's been a while, and you know, Anthony, you mentioned how many years Ed Robinson has been in this business, and not only is a percussionist, but when I say that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to meet a good drummer, a great drummer, this is the man, Ed Robinson. Well, Ed Robinson, you're going to take us back. Tell us why music. When did Ed Robinson really got going into this music business? It's your profile morning this morning on Mic Check. So start from the journey, Ed. Why me?
First of all, give thanks for having me, brethren, because you know this don't really happen in New York too tough.
No. It happens here, you know, Ed. And you're very welcome, and thank you for those comments, because I tell you, ever since we started this program, the intention, the real intention of Mic Check is for people like you, people who this is really a profile interview on whether the person is a musician, Breadman, whether the person is a politician, whether the person is an actor, actress, or whatever. So we created this platform, Ed Robinson, for people like yourself, and it's just that the list is a very long list. And I tell people, just be patient. Your day will come. And today, Ed Robinson, it is your day. So give. so take us back down the road now, Ed, and how this all got started.
All right. When I want to tell you something, Virgin, it started for me in a little town called Spanish Town out of Jamaica. Born and raised there, grew up there, you know, and just like every other kid who come from Spanish Town. You know, we're getting a full fair share of trouble. fair share of problem with the streets, because we have nothing else to do but run the streets, After we finish school at probably about 14, 15, run the streets. But my father couldn't deal with that problem anymore, so him carry to a place named Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth, and dump us off down there and just leave we down there.
Wow.
So I went to school down there. I went to a secondary school called, first I went to Santa Primary, Santa Cruz Primary, then Santa Cruz All Age really, and then I went to La Covia Secondary. From La Covia Secondary, I get a little vibe and I get into St. Elizabeth Technical High School, which is known as STETS.
Yep.
Yeah, so I spent maybe about a year and a half at STETS. Because after doing all of that school thing, I actually learned music the right way at La Covia Secondary School under a virgin named Mr. Simpson. And so right after that, getting into STETS, I realized that the school thing wasn't me anymore. I started losing interest in all that because it's the same program everywhere you go, it's same 1 + 1 = 2. And I always thought there had to be more to life than all of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not none of them things that I wanted to do as a career. I wasn't getting it, Until I went to SETS, really, I started doing what I really wanted to do, which was art,
Right.
paintings and drawings and all of that stuff. But it still wasn't up to where my head was. I don't know what was going on in my head, But so I just leave all of that and went straight into the North Coast. I went to I think I went to Negril with a band called the Celestials, Billy Vernon and the Celestials. I started playing drums there. Not really start playing drum there. I started playing drum before that, but I started playing drum professionally. But before that, I used to play drum with a group called Black Heat, which eventually morphed into City Heat. I was the lead vocalist and the drummer for that group.
Oh.
And when I actually leave that group, it took a bad drummer, to replace me, and the singer who replaced me was Diana King.
Wow.
Diana King replaced me as a singer in that band, and the drummer, so it took two people to replace me in that one band, in that one group, So from there, I start running the whole North Coast, playing a hotel band, and by the time you start playing a one band, you realize that the musician them in the band is not really they're not really musician. Them just there for the 9 to 5 p at the end of the week,
Right.
So you start figuring that these musicians could be better, and the minute you complain, this is the hotel system in Jamaica, the band thing in Jamaica. The minute you complain about a singer or a musician or bass player, them fire you from the group. So I probably get fired maybe twice a week.
I thought he was about to say twice in his career. He said twice a week.
Yeah, honestly, I probably get fired twice a week. At one stage on the North Coast, I was blackmailed.
Wow, you're blacklisted.
Blacklisted. There you go. So I couldn't get any job in a Ocheria, so I eventually decided I wasn't going to quit the music business.
Right.
But I wanted to quit the area. I want to quit Ochi area and then head to Montego Bay and get into another kind of business.
What was that now?
Can't tell you on the radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of the one and only Mr. Ed Robinson. Interestingly though, I'm just gonna take you back to STETS a little bit. And I don't know if you know this, Breadman and Anthony, that STETS and St. Andrew Technical, and I think Virtech STETS, St. Andrew, STETS, Stats, and Virtech. Yeah, there were 3 schools coming out of the Norman Manley era that were the only 3 schools since independence that were constructed by Jamaicans. Let me be clear on that.
Yeah, we know about that, man.
You know what I'm saying? So you
went like it's a PMP,
though. No. but I just want to share a little bit of the history of St. Elizabeth Tech, because a lot of people don't realize that many of the schools that were constructed in Jamaica were constructed by either Cubans or other people. Right. So it was a great institution, but I didn't realize that you went to STETS and you learned music before you really got to STETS, huh?
Yeah. I was playing in for artists like Lorna Bennett before I got to STEM.
Wow.
In all earnest, it said on my He said I'm a buyer that I've been in this business for, over 35 years. But to be honest with you, June 14 of last year is exactly 40 years.
Wow.
Since I got my first paycheck.
Wow.
Professionally, it was $75 in a place called Mountain Side in St. Elizabeth. We play a little theater around there for Tony Bennett, which is Lana Bennett's brother.
Right.
I think it's Don Corleone's family.
Yes.
Either father or uncle, one of them.
Okay, so now you're not going to tell us what was the new scenery in Montego Bay. Let's jump over that.
The new scenery in Montego Bay, when I get to Montego Bay, was totally left wing from the music,
Wow.
It was between politics and the streets.
Okay.
Got involved with that, spent a good time, probably about a good 13 to 15 years doing that. That's when I really get into the whole singing thing now.
Right.
Of becoming, not the drummer, bass player, keyboard player, guitarist anymore. I start getting into it now as a producer, because this is where we can afford now to buy, houses and start buying studios, building houses up on the hillside and build a studio up there. And that's when I start doing my first production. But what really bring me to that is I went to Tubby's in Waterhouse. I went there with a virgin named Specialist, who used to manage them DJ you there.
Yes, man, no Specialist.
And so I went there with him, and I love what I saw in his place. The machine, and him sit there working the machine and blah blah blah. So I started talking to him about these machines, and he gave me a list of machines what I was supposed to buy. And I went back to Montego Bay and run into Miami and buy them equipment, and that's when I start my first little studio, which was an 8-track studio.
Right.
And the first record to come out of that was Knocking on Heaven's Door, believe it or not.
Wow.
The first big record.
The first
record was Ain't That Loving You, which was like a local hit in Montego Bay. Then after that we did Knocking on Heaven's Door. Took it to Ocho Rios up by Mr. Young. At what them call IRFM now.
Yes.
Which was groove music at the time. We mix it and put on stuff up there, and the engineer, do their magic and blah blah blah. Turn it around, and that's where the rest is history. That's what we hear now.
Ed, interestingly, and you play not only one instrument, and you're very involved in production, which Anthony a lot of, and you hear Barrington Levy when he spoke last week. He spoke how he felt so good that this album that was produced by Barrington Levy is nominated for a Grammy, and this is coming out of his own Black Roses production. You, Ed Robinson, has been involved in this. I mean, deep-rootedly. You started from 8-track days.
As a matter of fact, I started from a 4-track. A 4-track cassette.
Wow.
And that's what we started doing work, but.
Right.
What is now known as the AB in the music industry, like you listen to a record that's out there and you play the one that you produce and it don't match up.
Right.
That's when we decide, we have to get bored and real recorders. Because when I produce stuff on a 4-track and I've listened back to it, because I read one time that the Beatles produced them thing on a little 4-track. So I thought it was any 4-track, so I went and buy a 4-track. But listening back to the stuff, and that's a problem that's happening even nowadays, even with little youths who I do them thing, them great ideas, very creative people, but then don't really have that technical sound coming from them like a computer, we can match up with, and that's why even you can attest to that when you listen to people send your records to play on the radio. It's not up there because it's not mixed or mastered properly. You play with the Bob Marley and the big ones,
And because you are a lover and you are involved in live music so much, you certainly know, you can feel it. Your ears to music is
sometimes
just.
You don't have to hear it. You feel it. It's not kicking you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we even go any further, Ed Robinson, let's knock down Evan's door a bit now, because guess what?
So now I'm knocking on heaven's door.
And certainly, Ed Robinson, when you knock on Evan's door, the door will open, my brother. I am not believing one part of the thing where you're saying, Ed, because the way you understand this whole music thing, you must have gone to school for music. So I'm not going to talk about where you talk about when you go to Stetson at the same
No,
old
I've never really been to school for music.
Oh my God.
I learn it as we go along. I think I learned more being around Tony Bennett, Lana Bennett and them, you know.
Right.
I learned more from them, and I learned more from Bridget who used to know the band, B.S.A. Vincent, Gary Marley. You know, I learned more from them. We actually teach each other because we listen a lot.
Yes.
We used to listen to. I thought I was Dennis Brown for all of my life,
I want to share this, Anthony, because hearing and listening is two different things. In order for you to listen, ladies and gentlemen, you must pay attention, okay?
You have to pay attention to listen.
So
you can't hear anything, You can't hear things and you just get it. But when you listen, you never forget it.
Definitely. Musical influence, Ed Robinson. Musical influence, because one, you are a musician and you're a singer. Who were some of your musical influence?
I have about two different influences in terms of, what really kicked me and kicked me out of the bed and said, get up, go do what you have to do. Jamaica is alternatives. I love Alton. Alton is the reason why I'm doing this today. And if you notice when I talk about Alton, I call him daddy. For years I call him a daddy. You know what I'm saying? I love Alton, but when it comes to the American side of the music thing, I don't even like telling people this guy. Every time I say it, people laugh. It's Prince.
Prince, one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, but you know how people turn, especially us Jamaican. Every time you say Prince, them have a different, look, outlook, opinion of him.
One of my favorite artists, and I remember being in Philadelphia, and I bought the Purple Rain album. And we were going to Jamaica, Anthony Turner, and I took this album to Jamaica. Purple Rain had just landed. I cannot tell you what somebody did with that album in terms of bootlegging that album. No, man, it wasn't me. I loaned it to someone, and they took it somewhere. Next thing I know, I went to Halfway Tree next to Skateland, and Purple Rain was selling in a record store.
Exactly. But you see, the funny thing about Virgin is that's one of my greatest.
Anthony, hold on. Anthony, I think 1 second, Ed. Anthony, I think you need to turn up your phone because you're not.
I'm not hearing Ed so clear either.
Right.
But what I wanted to ask you, Ed, I wanted to just revisit the knocking on heaven's door because it's such a major part of musical history.
Yeah.
And when that song came out, there were a couple other people who covered that song, but as it turns out, your version seemed to have lasted and outlast all of the other ones. What it is about your version, the way how that song was recorded, why you think it has withstood the test of time?
If I answer that question, I would be lying.
You don't know, eh?
I have no clue. I'm going to give you a joke. I never even know that song was released.
You kidding me?
I did not know that song was in the streets. I gave that song to Tough Gang, a brother named Ruel Thompson, who actually owned the masters to that song. Right? Which is not the version you just play. I'm going to tell you the story on that. But I gave Ruel Thompson the master, who actually was my manager at the time. And me and him actually fall out over that song, and it was never my manager anymore. I went on to start up Sharon Burke and her solid agency company. I was the first artist she actually started managing at the time. I actually start that solid agency company with her.
Wow.
Start managing artists and things. But that song actually. When we go into the studio and do them songs, this was the era of when dancehall just start run the place. So nobody wanted to hear no little sweet singing guy around the corner sing. They will listen to the Dennis Browns and the Gregory Isaac, and those people was in a different category from the Love Punani Bad style dancehall era. And this was the era that song came out in. And I remember I remember just getting frustrated with the business, but it never really mattered to me, to be honest with you, because I was living a separate and apart life from the whole musician game. You know, so once it started to get frustrated, I just kind of pull back, you know, my vibe and say, sure, forget about that music foolishness. I become alright over here, so, you know? And then I get a call from then ex-people, you know, them time that them was my people and thing, and she called me and say, you did do a song named Knocking I Have I say, about 2-3 years ago. Because people don't understand this. That song was done from 1989.
Wow.
Right? 88, 89, somewhere there. And the song came out probably 1991. You know, so I said, yeah, I do a song about 2-3 years ago. Why? She said the song is #1 right now in New York. I mean, a hairdresser right now listening to the song on the radio and it's #1. You know?
Interesting.
Right, so put it this way, out of the blue, all of a sudden the song just pop up and start around the place. Every country I went to, because I used to tour heavy back in them days.
Right.
I went to Mexico, the song was over there on a different label. I went to Peru, the song was there on a different label. I went to Australia, the song was there on a different label. England, same thing. You know, and so every country I went to, the song was on a totally different label, and I bought copies of them. I still have copies of those vinyl until today.
Wow. You know, Ed, sorry, and you know, it's not surprising to me, Anthony. You remember when we interviewed Frankie Campbell from Fab Five, and what Frankie said about working with a well-known Johnny Nash. You know, when they work with Johnny Nash and they came here from Jamaica, recognize that if the song was jumping through the window, it's a different name, and all the credits were given to someone else. So here we go again, Anthony, with a similar story.
That's the business of reggae. That's one of the reasons why. Because put it this way, my brethren, if reggae wasn't selling the way that they said, you know, 'cause you know when you talk to a producer, well, music not the tune not selling, no, we sold 10 copies last week. You see, that's one of the reasons why you have people. Just recently, I see them have a different little girl who do whatever music, white music. What the white girl?
Josh Stone. Josh Stone. She did an album that one of our people encourage her to do. Damian Marley.
Well, call nobody.
Go ahead, man. It's the information is out there.
Right. Yeah, people know that already. But you know, but a little man encourage her to do an album, and all of a sudden, boom, she's a #1 reggae artist in the world. See, the reason for that being, my brethren, I see people cussing about it and quarreling about it, but in all truth and honesty, they shouldn't be quarreling about the little girl becoming the #1 reggae act. They should be quarreling about the people who's at the head of reggae business. Because the truth is, they document their sales. They document their business. Everything is in black and white. It's on paper.
Yes.
You understand me? Go to any reggae producer, anybody who control reggae, and say, let me see some books on the sales of this and the sales of that. And them can't show you that. The first thing them going to tell you is, boy, the tune not selling.
Right.
You understand me? So you get discouraged and pull back in your shell and go somewhere else, you know? I remember being signed to a major record label back in the days. Me, Barrington, Levy, Steel Pulse, and Morgan's Heritage, and them little brother with him, the Dreads, back in them days. Them signed me right from Sunsplash stage. As me come off of the stage, them signed me, right? First offer was $250,000. I'm look on the guy and start laugh because $250,000 was what me have was what me have coming in probably every other weekend. You know, so we did it up until the money reached to almost $750,000. Right? Okay, I sign the deal, and them take me out and carry me go to LA. Right? Well, by this time, my brethren, you know, this is how companies work. You know, in terms of the American crap. See? Them carry go there and look who used to produce me at Jamaica. Mikey Bennett. You know, Black Scorpio. Gussie Clark them. Jermaine. Right? Fatis. That's who me used to work for. Top ranking out of Montego Bay. That's who I used to sing on their label. That's who used to do the track. Them I'm going and I sing. All I'm a little hit tune them when me have a Jamaica back in the days.
Right.
So naturally in my head, as a youth, me get a big break like that. The first thing me I go do is me I call Mikey Bennett and I say, Mikey Bennett, you know say MCA Records signed me, seeing? So here what happen? More you do 2 tunes for me. Seeing? So I am trying to you know, issue out our put round the rhythm track them and the music and the production deal now to all of my people them who you'd look out for me when me just a rise up and I come up.
And this is good. That's
the
very
record
good.
company shut down all of that. Wow. And them start giving me Simon Law, who produced Soul to Soul. You know, them start giving me a little brother named Lee Jaffe. Me no know him from Adam. Somebody tell me say Peter just threw him in a pool one time, almost drowned.
Can we say the conspiracy? Huh?
Right. So them totally change the thing from what they liked. When them come in and find me and sing reggae, them give me a song. Them bring me a song one day. This little guy bring me a song, a guy named Lee Jaffe. He bring me the song and say, learn that tune now. Who I'm going to go to the studio tomorrow, go do that tune. Right? A tune name. To all the people, vice versa love, pa-da-pa-da-pa.
Barrington eventually did that, yes.
Right, exactly. And I didn't like the song, to be honest, because it was like a cowboy, you know, beach dread, you know, like a beach bum thing, where it just guitar alone I play and you sing, you know. And back then, my head was wrapped around hardcore reggae, more upon the Jacob Miller level.
Right.
You know, that's what my head was wrapped around. So me I come into, you know, America upon California beach now with this thing in my head like, yo, bridging or some dirty reggae we plan for the boy, man. We're not depend, you know, we're not depend him like a nice guy.
Right.
Rasta wrap up your head pan beach reggae thing. We're not depend that. You know. And guess what? I totally spoiled my deal. Totally spoiled my deal. So I was there waiting on them for 3 years. Right? They never record one song with me after that.
Wow. Ed, all your thoughts. We're coming up to the top of the hour, and I have to play this song because you're a very respectable young man, and I'm saying young man because after 40 years in the business, you're still a young boy. And I recognize that you are one of those who pay respect to all those who have gone before us and all those who have laid the foundation.
Oh, hell yeah.
So let's close out this segment with Heroes, my brother. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Ed Robinson, ladies and gentlemen.
If you remember, then let it show.
It is Groovin Radio. It is Mike Check. Rasta and Breadman Anthony Turner. Our guest, Ed Robinson.
Breadman, make myself your life is not a dead man.